At 2:08 in the morning on July 30, 1916, an explosion on a small peninsula in New York Harbor shattered windows in Times Square, cracked the Brooklyn Bridge, shook buildings in Philadelphia, and embedded shrapnel in the torch arm of the Statue of Liberty. Almost no one today knows it happened. Black Tom Island, really a narrow spit of land connected to Jersey City by a causeway, was the largest munitions depot in the United States. In the summer of 1916, Britain and France were engaged in the third year of the First World War, and American industry was supplying them heavily, despite the country's official neutrality. Black Tom's piers were stacked with more than 2 million pounds of ammunition and explosives waiting for transport across the Atlantic, artillery shells, TNT, and freight cars loaded with gun cotton. Security was minimal. Watchmen slept. German intelligence operatives had been active along the American eastern seaboard for months, targeting the supply chain that was arming Germany's enemies. That night, agents, likely from a network run by Franz von Rintelen and working through a courier named Michael Christoph, placed incendiary pencil devices, timed to ignite slowly, among the freight cars and barges at Black Tom's piers. The fire spread to the munitions at approximately 2 a.m. The first explosion was enormous. A second, larger detonation followed minutes later. The blast was felt as far away as Maryland. People in lower Manhattan poured into the streets, convinced the city was under attack. The Statue of Liberty's right arm, housing the torch, was so badly damaged by shrapnel that it was never opened to visitors again. The arm remains closed today, over a century later, a permanent and largely unknown scar from an attack on American soil. Because the United States was not yet at war with Germany, there was no immediate military or intelligence response. The investigation lasted for years. German government liability was eventually established in international arbitration, and Germany was still making payments to American claimants as late as 1979. Black Tom sits in the shadow of more famous events. America entered the war the following year, Pearl Harbor came a generation later, and has been largely forgotten. But it was one of the most consequential acts of terrorism ever conducted on American territory, carried out in the middle of New York Harbor, with the most recognizable symbol of American freedom taking shrapnel in her arm and still bearing the marks.